Second one's a charm. Good morning, good noon, good evening, wherever time and place you're listening to us from, straight from the 909. We got Cam Archer in the building, myself, Nesquik, and together, that's hip hop. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. It really does mean a lot. Today, we're fellowshipping with an MC known for his lyrical dexterity, cultural wit, and emotional depth. Rooted in the Inland Empire's unique creative energy, he raps with a vivid imagination, weaving anime, sports, and comic book references seamlessly into verses that also tackle street realities and personal reflection. His delivery balances punchline, heavy bravado with vulnerable storytelling, giving his music both grit and relatability. Whether over boom bap, trap, or more experimental production, Cam maintains a confident, narrative-driven voice that sets him apart from many of the Southern California peers. His ability to shift between playful creativity and heartfelt introspection makes his catalog feel versatile yet cohesive. While still building his mainstream profile, Cam Archer has already earned a reputation as a rapper's rapper with respected lyrical skill and consistency. A member of the Over Everything collective, he's carved his lane in the SoCal hip-hop scene through projects like No Apologies and standout singles like Voltage, and even caught the attention of Linkin Park's Mike Shinoda. Crazy, legendary stuff. His appearances on platforms like Shade 45, Damian Lillard's 4-Bar Friday series have further cemented his credibility as a wordsmith. Cam's legacy impact lies in his role as a bridge between SoCal's underground authenticity and broader hip-hop innovation, representing the Inland Empire with a style that feels both timeless and forward-looking. Don't mention it, but he's outside Elzai's the 5'9" banner boy with the God bars. Guapo Catalyst himself, Dino's very own Cam Archer. Welcome to the building, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. Damn you, Damian, for calling me Elzai the 5'9". Get on my nerves, man.
It made it to the show, man.
It made it to the show. He's going to love that.
It's forever cemented now.
Yeah, he's going to love it. He's going to love that.
Man, it's a pleasure having you on the show today, man. I really appreciate your time and being here. You know, I didn't even know where to start. There's so many places to start with your discography, with just the things you've done locally, the things that you've done that are really incredible, like on Shade 45 and stuff. And I guess one of the cool, interesting facts that I heard about you is that you did some voiceover work for a commercial for like Vince Carter.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to know, could you confirm this? Because I was trying to look, but I didn't know which commercial this was or what it was.
It was specifically for Canada. So it was for NBA Canada, and it was his kind of like a tribute to him and his retirement. And it started to air right around the time of the pandemic, right when they came back for the bubble. It started to air then. So I actually never got to see it on TV. Other people would tell me they saw it, so I never got to see it. I just had like a video of it, and I put it on my Instagram and stuff like that.
Is it like a Nike commercial? Or?
Yeah, it was basically like an NBA. It was literally like the NBA logo at the end, like, and I narrated the commercial.
And how did that even, like, how did you even get into that? Like, how did you find that?
So one of those is a sliding doors moment, I like to say, where, you know, you can do one thing or another. So I had a show in Arizona with a few of the homies, shout out King Dice, Jig, Trinity. We had a show in Arizona, and I was like, oh, I'm going to this show. And then, oh gosh, Leotis and Damian hit me up like, hey, we're supposed to work on this project in LA this weekend. We need rappers. You know, would you come? And I was like, well, I got this show in Arizona, and I could be doing, you know, I might be able to sell a few CDs and stuff like that. And I was like, you know what? We just go work on this project in LA. And it ended up being a soundtrack for a show that was streaming originally with ESPN and then aired on ESPN. It was produced by LeBron James. It was called Best Shot. And it was kind of like following in like a high school basketball team that was coached by Jay Williams. They used to play for the Bulls.
Wow.
So we did the entire soundtrack for that, distributed by Warner Brothers. And from doing that, I got linked up because some of the producers I work with on that were like, hey, yeah, we heard you wanted to do voice work, but we got some guys from NBA Canada who need somebody to voice over this Vince Carter thing. Would you be interested?
What did you voice over exactly, though? Like,
I just narrated it. So they gave me like a script, and they wanted me to, like, you know, take a look at it, mess around with it, and narrate this commercial. And I just narrated it. Yeah.
I mean, one, it's a Nike commercial. Like, if I had a bucket list, I'm like, check, that'd be dope. Vince Carter?
Yeah, that was crazy.
One of the all-time great dunking masters of all time. Like, that's just nuts. So I thought that was a really cool, interesting, like, fact that you were involved in that was out of here.
Yeah, and the only reason why I knew that it aired on TV, and this was the wild part, was I didn't see it on TV, but I saw on Drake's story he posted the video of him watching it on TV on his Instagram story. I was like, oh crap.
Yeah, and that makes sense because Drake, Canada, all
exactly.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
that's
wow,
crazy.
That's pretty crazy.
Also, I thought what was really cool and interesting is that you landed on Damian Lillard's 4-bar Friday. Like,
yeah.
What was that like and landing on that?
It was honestly, shout out to Nicholas Gray. He was the first person to really start doing like the 4-bar Friday stuff. And that was just a platform that Dame and his cousin, Brookfield Do, shout out to you, shout out to Dame, that they were trying to like boost rappers up. And if you were good and you were one of the better ones, then Dame would post you. So I would get posted here and there. And then during the pandemic is when they were doing the contest of like, we're doing a 4-bar Friday contest and we're going to get it judged by like Rob Markman was a judge the week that I won. I was probably the second week and I won that. And so everybody saw the video that went viral was me rapping on like the live with Dame and Dame's reaction just being like, what is happening here? So yeah, that was very dope. That helped me a lot actually.
Yeah. Man, you killed it. I saw a little bit of your performance on Shea 45 too.
Yeah.
Like that was also crazy. Like, you know, doing something like that, is there a different element of pressure? You know, I mean, of course I feel like there is a little bit of a pressure, but how is it for you when you do something like that?
Shea 45 with Dame, there was no pressure. I was just like, I'm about to kill this and I'm winning.
That's
with Shea 45, it was like there was pressure because I'm a horrible memorization person. It takes me forever to memorize. It takes me forever to because I write so fast.
Yeah.
It's just like in and out.
Yeah.
So it takes me forever to memorize. But with that one, I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna rap. Like I won this contest. I fly to New York. I'm gonna be rap on Shea 45, and I don't know what I'm gonna rap. And it's like the day before, and I'm still like,
why
I don't know
wouldn't you know? Because
rap.
you do have a lot of in your discography and all that.
I overthink those things. I'm always like, well, that's not punchy enough, or that's too wordy, or you know, blah blah blah. And then when we got there, they mentioned like, oh, we heard you're really good at freestyle, and I was like, yeah, matter of fact, I could just freestyle like off the top. You want me? And that took once that happened, all the pressure was off at that point.
Yeah, man, that's such a moment
too. Leading up to that, I was like,
to do it off the top that's a moment.
That's easier for me.
Yeah, that's a moment.
Yeah, that's always been like the easy. I can freestyle forever, but you tell me like, oh, we need you to do it written on the spot. I'm like, what do I got?
How often do you still these days like exercise the off the topness?
I need to do it more. I actually just told myself I'm just going to start doing it daily again because I was forced to do it when I first started rapping. So I became sharp just off of that, just people bugging me to rap. So I became sharp just because of that. But now it's like, okay, I need to do it more. Like I was on the Level Check pod a few years ago. Shout out to my guys on the Level Check pod. And they were just like, yo, will you freestyle at the end? I was like, oh, yeah, sure. It's been a while. So it was like 6-7 minutes, just freestyle. All right, cool. So that was good. Like good exercise, work the muscle.
Dang, that's so dope, man. So I've heard different stories a little bit of, you know, how you started. I would like if you wouldn't mind sharing, you know, how you started for our audience and how you got into rapping and realizing like you had a gift in this. And if you wouldn't mind sharing a little bit, like how it started for you.
I've always been I've always loved music and I've always been good with words. I never thought I would be a rapper. So I tell myself I kind of cheated my 10,000 hours by not starting it sooner. Like, when I was like 9 or 10, my stepbrother was a rapper. He almost got signed a few times, just didn't work out. And
so he was pretty good then.
Yeah, he was pretty good. He had moved from Milwaukee to California just for that. And he found my notepad, and I would write to. It's funny you mentioned the Sonic flip on this new project. I would write to Sonic beats. That's what I would write to as a little kid. So I was like 6-7 years old, and I would just write songs to the soundtrack of the first Sonic. And he found my notepad of me just writing raps, and he's like trying to give me all these tips, and I was like, I'm not gonna be a rapper. Like I told him, he was dumbfounded. And then after high school, I would still write here and there. Like I still have some of the stuff I wrote in my senior year of high school, like on actual sheets of paper. Can barely read it because my handwriting's trash. And I had a friend who was like, oh, I make beats. Shout out to GQ. He's Half Valve Entertainment now. Shout out to him. He was my first producer. He was lying at the time. He hadn't made any beats yet, but he said he made beats.
That's a dope one.
And he said he was recording.
Opportunity.
Exactly. He was like, I was recording at Cal State. I got a buddy named Comic. He raps. The only thing that was true was he had a friend named Comic who raps. We used to break into Cal State to record. So I met Comic, and it was just kind of like, it went from my friends just forcing me to rap. Oh, we're going here, rap about this, and just freestyle. And then I met Comic, and he had Magic's the recording program, which is some people still remember that, some don't. And
what year is this? Like what year is this?
2009.
Okay,
so I'm fresh out of high school, and I recorded my first thing, which was a cash flow freestyle. I just freestyled over cash flow, put it on MySpace, and it got like 100 plays, and I was just like, oh, I'm him. That was it. That was all I needed. I wanted to rap now. And from there, I started working on stuff, and then me and Comic never finished anything substantial. I meet Dre Shot in 2010. Shout out to my bro Dre Shot. I always say he saved my life because he just was like, oh yeah, we had just met one time. A year later, I tweeted I needed somewhere to record, and he was like, well, come to my house by Cal State, San Bernardino. And just let me pull up, and we started from that day forward. That became like the place that I really honed everything.
Was that really crucial? Because like, did you not have like your own setup to like record your own stuff?
I didn't have a computer.
Okay.
I didn't have anything.
Okay.
So Dre just being like, yeah, pull up. I got a computer. I make beats, or we can do, freestyle stuff. We can do. And that night we did a La 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 remix where we went back and forth, and he played me some beats. The first beat he played me ended up being like my first quote unquote single in the IE, which was a song called Suede. And it just built this brotherhood from there.
Dang. I think I asked Jake Asai a little bit like how you guys started to come together, but eventually, was it the same group that you're running here? Like you ended up like kind of meeting that group and then kind of colliding into one group, or
it is the same group. It was So I was in me and GQ and Comic at the time, and then Dre Shot, Prolific, Killa, rest in peace to my guy Tone Deaf. We were in a collective called Half Valve Entertainment, which was like a trumpet reference. And we got called everything from half value to whatever you want to call it. People didn't know what to call us. And so I met Jay Kasai through another friend of his, and who said, oh, you should book my friends. So I booked them for a show.
Oh, that's right, because you were booking shows at
I was booking shows still, and I had a show coming up, and they were like, oh, you should book my friends. I was like, all right, I'll book them. So I booked. It was their friend Stevie Dub, and then Jay Kasai came with him. True Speech came with him. Okay. And that was before CJ Wesley had actually joined Dying Breed. And then we became just cool. We were cordial. Right. And then it got to the point where I think me and Jake Kasai really hung out. We went to a Lupe concert together. I got some tickets for free at the House of Blues in Anaheim.
Dang, free show for
Lupe, yeah. And we became cool. And it's funny, like Jake Kasai says, he wasn't he was not trying to be my friend. It just became like we became friends. Yeah. And then he realized, oh, I was a nice rapper as well. Like he knew I could rap, but it was like, yeah, everybody raps out here.
Did you guys like freestyle on the way there or something or anything?
No, we just became cool. And then he ended up being on, I did 100 shows in a year once. And at the 100th show,
that's crazy.
It was the stupidest idea ever.
That's crazy.
It was stupid because I didn't come up with the idea until February. So I was behind the 8 ball.
Right. So you're going to double work a little bit.
And I didn't have a car at the time. And I was like, I'm going to do 100 shows in a year. So I do my 100th show in December. I put them on the bill too, and then I performing, and they go, "Oh wait, no, he's actually nice." Like,
yeah, they saw it.
And then it became us, and there was another collective that we were like, "Hey, we should merge. Like, we would take over things if we really came together." That other collective decided to not join just based off of differences in opinions. Yeah. And me and Kasai kind of looked at each other like, "We still want to do this. We want to do this." And next thing you know, we came together. Some people came along, some people didn't, and OE was more.
Wow. So I'm going to ask you then today, as of today, like what does OE mean to you then?
Honestly, man, OE was really the point in my career musically where I started to I was forced to really focus on the artistry of it all and what I wanted the picture to be. So I don't even think I've told this story before, but yeah, Kasai, yeah, fuck you. I remember I was working on my first, I'd already made some projects. They're all online. If you can find them, shout out to you. Yeah. They're in the
Zelda world. They're in the
Bandcamp ethers, and they're not on the Cam Archer one. So there's at least 6 to 7 projects of my music that I don't even include in my quote unquote catalog that you can go find. And there's still some good raps there. A lot of good raps, just not structured the way I think they should be. But I remember I was sitting down with him, and I was like, this first project I'm working on, it was Cocomania. It was going to be Mania. I got this idea, and he was like, all right, well, what's it actually about? And I was like, damn, what is it about? And I really had to it made me recalibrate and refocus on okay, because I know I'm capable of creating these stories and these worlds, so why don't I actually focus on that? And after I lost the first album, because my notes got deleted, I had to rewrite the entire album, and then that's when it really got locked in and focused in.
Man, dude, I
So
know that
OE
feeling
really
though, of
helped
like
me.
losing. Yeah.
Yeah, you lose your note. It was the worst feeling ever. And
Yeah.
the first time that happened was with an actual notepad.
Yeah.
And then I lost that and then found it again. But then I can't. My writing's chicken scratch, bro. So
Yeah.
then when the notes got deleted,
I've heard stories of people losing their like actual recordings sometimes. That's brutal.
tough.
That's
that
brutal.
technically happened to me with Inside Voices, but yeah. But at least it was done then.
Yeah.
But yeah, OE really just made me. It's like we call it the hyperbolic time chamber. Like if you work around us, you're gonna get better because we're all really good at aspects of the craft, and you're definitely gonna become a better rapper because you have no choice.
Right.
Like if you want to be on a song, you can't rap poorly.
How is it morphed now, like in recent times? Because now I think you mentioned there was a time where CJ wasn't on there yet.
Yeah.
And there's a few people. I think you guys like. How does it morph now?
Well, when we officially became OE, CJ was there. He wasn't in Dying Breed at the time that I met Kasai.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And then after I got to know him, then CJ joined. The funny thing about that is CJ was our buddy Tone Deaf, once again, God rest his soul.
Yeah.
He had some horrible opinions on rappers. So he originally tried to, like, he would always try to tell us we should bring in these rappers to HVE. And we were like, we listened a few times and we were like, these were terrible. Because he would be like, oh, Cam, you're good, but this dude's great. And then we would sit down with him like, this dude sucks. And then he tried to say, hey, I know this guy, CJ Wesley, he's really good. We were like, yo, Tone, no.
And most cases, it is like that until it's like, oh, no, this is legit.
Yeah, and CJ was legit, but it was at the point where we were finally like, no, we're not doing this anymore. So, but yeah, like it was that type of thing. And fortunately, the collective came together as it did, and everybody was just super good at multiple things, you know.
Yeah. So, so we're on this kind of topic. Can you talk a little bit about the dynamic or there's a certain twist you guys do when you guys come together, and you call it God bars.
Oh yeah, the bar gods.
Bar gods. Yeah. What is that for you guys? What does that mean?
It's something that has gotten us a lot of love and a lot of like pretty much veiled dislike from some people in the IE.
Are you talking about like from rappers? Because
from rappers for sure. Mostly because they think that we're just like very like arrogant or anything like they just think we're full of ourselves. And then also my demeanor in public, I'm very quiet. I'm in the background. I'm not going to talk to people unless they like come talk to me, because I'm just not assuming everybody wants to talk to me. So I'll just be in the back chilling. But us calling ourselves the bar gods was kind of like us going like, when we get together, we get on songs, we're going to exemplify what top-notch rapping should be, and we're going to do it at the highest level we possibly can. So, I mean, the first one was on Cocamania. The second one's never come out. The third one came out second, and then from there, the fourth one's out.
So the second one never came out?
It's still not out. Wow. It was supposed to be on Kasai's album. Get it together, man. So, yeah, the second one was on his album, which was being worked on.
Okay, so it's still kind of being shelved.
It's still there. It'll come out eventually. Yeah, but 3 is out, 4 is out, which was 4 was on Spirit Gunner, and then 5 is gonna come out this year, I believe. So,
yeah, I thought that was dope. Just like, you know, when the collective coming together, it almost felt like an Avengers kind of moment. Like, but you guys call it that. So I thought that was pretty sick. Okay, so you know, there's a lot of different references that you have in your bars. Yeah. A lot of different references. I thought just listening through. Let's start with Banner Boys. Listening through with Banner Boys, I thought was, man, the first track, the intro track, starting off with the loop, and it almost sounded to me like it was in reverse almost. And then later on, the beat kicks in, and you know, you're talking about, you know, turning basically like kind of your burdens into these banners. Like, I just thought that was a brilliant flip on everything. And some of the bars I'm going to highlight here that I thought were really dope. Dollar slows dwindled while I made a fashion district painted. And skipping on, he also called me Jehovah's favorite. Maybe I confused that name with Jay. I love the flip. Now I'm album slaving, trying to match the blueprint bar for bar like I'm swapping places. G's claim we family like I won't disown some blood related. Yeah. I thought those bars were so hard. I love the flip on the Jehovah thing. Yeah. That was sick because it took me a second to kind of catch up with you. Because you're spinning this like in very fast, in rapid time. And so it's like I have to slow it down and like, okay, what is he saying here? And I'm like, oh crap, that's crazy. The Jehovah flip, you know, in a verse like this, when you have these different references, and to me, I felt like there was like a tension between like chasing art and chasing dollars. And it's like, you know, you're in the weight of trying to measure up to icons such as Jay-Z. And then the complexity of like, you know, of your blood family and just those kind of relationships. I mean, just from that bar alone, it kind of really said a lot.
Yeah.
In those lines, are you reflecting like on personal struggles in your own journey?
For sure. That whole intro is like it's I wanted it to feel like a breaking point kind of thing. Like, so yeah, like my dollars are dwindling while I make a fashion district payment. Like I'm buying merch and I'm over here going like, well, I got to pay rent and stuff, bro, but I got to get this merch so we can prep it for this release, like, my aunt, like my mom's side of the family is all Jehovah's Witness. So they're you're a favorite.
So I see the common thread there of her telling you like,
you're
find Jehovah, find
yeah, you know what I mean? And it's like, well, all I ever do when I'm making projects is I listen to the blueprint and I'm like, is this as good rapping as the blueprint is? I'm always trying to, that's my totem.
Measure,
it's the measuring stick for what I do when I create is I put on the blueprint album and I go, is this good enough? Like, you know what I mean? Like that type of thing. So yeah, all of that stuff is very true. Like God bless my old manager, Brian, who when I would call off of work, he would always just say, oh, when you make it, just bring me with you. And he passed away of cancer. Ooh. And like, you know what I mean? Like all that stuff, it
stays
all
with
there.
you.
Yeah. Rocking shows for no one. The first show I ever headlined, it was like the guy cleaning. You know what I mean? Like it was nobody there, but does it get my point across of what I'm trying to do as how much I want this? You know what I mean? Like that type of thing.
Right. Yeah. I thought that was really dope, dude. And I commend you on these. Like the thing that's cool about you is like, man, you're spitting like, fast, but within that is like almost each bar is like heavy. And I'm like, that's a bar. And you're like going at rapid speed. And I thought that's like so sick and ill. Dude, I'm going to like just go out there on a limb and say like, so far you've been my favorite out of here of people I've covered. And like, it's dude, you're ill, man. Very ill. On the second track, the beat was kind of in reverse again, I think.
Yeah.
The beat kicks in. I kind of like this. Who's doing this? Is Damian, right?
Damian made every beat on this album. Yeah.
Yo, peace to Damian.
That beat is from 2017.
Really?
That's one of the songs that was older. We decided to start this project in 2017, and it just took us like just life.
Yeah.
We just never. We were like, we're gonna do this, and then that's what happened. Yeah.
I love the bars. Like you started off crazy. Get their homage ready. And I believe I'm going to kind of make this out. Rap dash in the driveway, blacker than cool vu.
That Kovu, yeah.
Kovu.
From the second Lion King. Yeah.
Ooh.
Rapid dash in the driveway, blacker than Kovu.
That's crazy. Yeah. The kid knew the alleys. This is what I thought was a cool flip. And like you're doing these flips where it's like a mirror almost. Like alley, I'm thinking about alleys like you're racing in an alley, but then you're flipping and talking about like alley oops, like better than Kenyon on O2. This dude was Kenyon Martin. If you don't know, you better read a paper or something. Kenyon Martin, that's like a dope ass reference to it. Like only a basketball head would have to know that. Like Kenyon Martin and O2 on the Nets.
Yeah,
dude was crazy. I love that line though, and you're asking like you Shaq against who? Yeah. The ad-libs is dope too. Then the beat kicks in and you go into overdrive. And that is like, whenever that happens and you're on the beat, right, you're ice skating, bro. You're ice skating on these beats and it's crazy. And it almost feels like hearing this, it almost feels like you're driving in a race car. Like I feel like I'm racing with you as you're spitting these bars. It feels like we're racing right now. The landscape, been afraid of the black parade, cascade through baseline, looking for ticker tape. I even had to look up what ticker tape was, and I realized that was like the confetti that falls during parades. That's crazy. Bloodline African, and then I don't know what you said after
Seminole.
this. What is that?
Seminole Native American. Yeah.
Ooh, that's crazy. So that's like your heritage? Dang, that's crazy, dude. Plus liquor laced. This bar is crazy. Dr. Manhattan evaporated without a trace. For those who don't know, that reference is crazy.
Watchmen,
yeah. Because he basically, from like a nuclear reaction, he disintegrates and becomes sort of like a god figure. And he almost kind of like disconnects from humans.
From the world, yeah.
He doesn't really relate to them anymore and drifts away. Man, that's a fucking powerful metaphor, bro. And then you go into reemerged as a king of Gotham on the throne, get off it, not fond of squatters, and then what's
Squadron,
after? Squadron, sign
a
of time.
Lifetime deal with
options.
Yeah.
In other words, we got it locked into 3022.
Yep.
Why 3022? Were you just choosing any year out there?
Literally just made that on the fly because the original bar the year's not around anymore. So I just made it on the fly.
That's tight.
But it's like that's the lifetime of what we're gonna do. It's not just gonna span a lifetime. It's gonna span 1,000 years. You know.
And I love the blend of between the comics, between sports, between racing. Like you're all blending it in with this banner motif, which is crazy to me. And then you go into the bar of like celebrate soon as I shoot. That's what gunners do, and that made me think of Steph Curry. The Warriors, you know how they like shoot it. They don't
turn around.
Yeah, they don't even look at the basketball. They're just like, it's fucking dope, bro. When you reference things like this, like, you know, moments in history or, you know, comics and stuff like that, are you doing it as like just to reference it because it was a dope moment, or do you feel like it mixes in with the metaphors of the story you're trying to tell?
It's usually a little bit of both. So it's usually going to tie into what I'm talking about, or it's just also the fact that I'm like, it's dope. Like, this is dope to me. So if I think it's dope, there's going to be somebody who thinks this is dope. It's not going to be dope to everybody, and that's fine. But there's going to be people that want to hear these references, and they're going to go, wow, that resonates with me. I get that reference. He likes what I like. I want to tap in and listen to more of this because he's probably going to do more of this, and odds are I am. I almost like joke that there's always like a checklist. There's like, okay, did he do a sports bar, anime bar, 90s TV show bar? Like, I always joke like there's a checklist in all of my verses and songs, or just a random action movie reference, or like something like that. And it usually ties in, but then it also, you know, it's just dope to me. I like the sport of it.
Yeah, I think that's so dope that you can like take this all in subconsciously like a sponge and then like blend it into this narrative storytelling that you're doing and this world building. Like, to me, that's crazy because it all feels like I said, you're sticking with this racing theme, but then all these other metaphors and all that also blend and match with that theme, which is also crazy. So it's like layered metaphors, building worlds. Like it's really the depth there is really crazy to me. And the fact that your delivery, because at the same time you're doing all that, the cadence is going like you're switching up the cadences to the beat. Yeah. So the beat switches up, you switch up. Like, is that the beat following you or you following the beat?
A mix of both.
Okay.
Because sometimes it'll be Nabi or Leo will be making the beat, and then I rap what I got, and then they add the drops, they add the flips, they add things like that. Or it's just as I hear it. Or I'm just a flip whore, bro. So I'm Will Ospreay, bro. I want to flip everywhere. So like it's like wherever I can. So Jake Asai has always said like I'm just randomly swerving on a freeway because my flow switches. I don't just switch every 4. I'll switch every 2, or I'll switch 1 and then another 3 and then switch on the 4th. And so it's just whatever comes to mind at the time. Yeah. I'll make it work.
And when you're because I feel like in these verses you have a certain way of delivering it, a certain way that you're going with it. Are you memorizing the way you're spitting this, or does it just change every time you spit it? Or
so usually when I write it, I'm writing in my head, and it's when I'm writing, it's really stream of consciousness. So I gotta hope. So sometimes I have to record it in a voice note just so I remember the flow that I had when I wrote it.
Because that's the part I'm questioning is like, how do you even remember if you got to repeat this back exactly how you were originally thinking about
sometimes
it?
Sometimes it's just I just remember it just from how the beat is. Dang. Sometimes it'll be like that, like, oh yeah, I remember what I did on this beat. And then other times it's like because sometimes I'll just do random half breaks on a bar and then go from there. And that missing that half break can throw off the entire rhythm of your verse. Yeah. So for my phone is full of just voice notes of me I'll just lay this, like if I know I'm not going to record it right then and there, I'll just do a voice note and just spit it real quick so I remember the flow. Because
I don't feel like that would be a problem if it was more like linear, basic. If everybody kept the same cadence or, you know, I don't feel like that'd be a problem. Yeah. But because there's a lot of switches that you're doing, a lot of like interesting like grooves and stuff that you find, I'm thinking like, man, how do you remember to do all that? So that's cool.
I'm a voice note guy for sure. That always helps.
Priorities I felt was another fun one. Very bouncy, the hard bass line. I think there was like a siren driven sound on it. I'm sorry, I'm kind of digging deep on this particular album right now, but you're good, man. It's kind of fun. There's a couple of different notes that I wrote here. I thought this was pretty catchy. And I think we talked a little bit about it now, but the line of like, Mama said, find where Jehovah is.
Yeah.
It might need to tweak my priorities.
Yeah.
Is that something that you still try to balance with today's world and from like, family traditions and like trying to, like, are you still balancing that to this day?
I think anybody who was raised by their mom has that level of guilt where they don't want to disappoint their mom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so you're trying to be like as good a person you can as you're still trying to find your way and what you believe in and the narratives that you're following and that you feel ring true to you, while also paying respects to what they believe and hold to their heart because of how they held you so closely and raised you. So it's always that trying to find that balance of telling my mom about my life, and then she'll just be like, well, if you read the Bible more, and it's just like, I get it, Ma, I get it. Maybe I do need to change things up. Maybe I'm a little wild out here. Maybe I'm losing it, so that's kind of where that came from.
Yeah. I get it. I feel like the world is so nuanced. There's so much, so much unknown as well. So it's like trying to balance all that is, especially coming from moms, it's
exactly.
like, like you said, that's like the biggest thing I think to boys or men with their moms. You don't want to like let them down,
Absolutely not.
Yeah. So that I thought was really interesting. And, I think that's cool because it shows when it comes up in your music, it shows that it's there. It's a thought in your head as you're weaving through life and, all of what comes with that, and trying to still at the same time, like go out, have fun too, like balancing all these different things. So I thought that was really cool. And then on this beat, like you're going off to like, let me say some of the lines I highlighted here. Wardrobe, got to mail it in. I'm on the move. And feel free to correct me too, cause I'm just kind of hearing this and just trying to type it out. Bermuda Smooth and Quest. No.
Shout out to Bermuda. Yeah, that's my homie's clothing line.
That's a clothing line.
Adrian Quest, wrestler / clothing designer. He's been all over the world wrestling. He's wrestled in AAA. He's wrestled CMLL. He's everywhere. Shout out to my guy Adrian Quest. His been Bermuda is fire. So if you ever get a chance, check it out.
That's dope.
Great clothing.
That's dope. So I didn't know what that reference was. So that's cool.
And Quest know how we repping too. They ain't seen his moves. He an alien. Yeah.
Yeah, he an alien. Motown 25th status. So I was wondering kind of where you were going with, because you're going into some details here, but I didn't know where you were going with this. Motown 25th status for a 5th pack.
Got the Michael kick.
Yeah, that Michael kick line is crazy.
That's basically that's a super packed one. So obviously the 25th anniversary of Motown. He did the moonwalk for the first time. And the 4/5 has the Michael kick, Jordan's 45. Michael Jordan shoes, the Michael kick. Yeah.
Wow, bro.
Yeah.
Wow, that one's dense. That one's real dense right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Oof. Okay. Yeah. I knew there was something going on there.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell, but there was something going on with that. Yeah, dude. Like, how do you find yourself come into like bars like this where you're going this dense with it, but then like at the same time you're banging out tracks, but you're finding time to also go here in detail, like, how does that?
It's honest, bro. I wish I had like some like scientific answer to that, bro. I don't. Like, it's literally, it just comes to me as I'm writing it.
What's your reaction when you come into bars like this, and what are you thinking? Because do you think it's going to go over people's head for sure?
I know it's going to.
Yeah.
I don't care. It's like, I feel like they'll get the basic, like they'll get the baseline of it, which is,
the Michael Jackson kick.
Yeah, you got the ad lib in there, to just kind of build it. But yeah, like I'm so like just rude about it. I do flips of the same flip multiple times in different ways and just wait for somebody to catch one of them, and then we'll go from there. If you
because even your references sometimes over my head, and I have to look it up.
Yeah.
And in a way, that's kind of fun. I mean, that's what you do at MF Doom.
That's what I loved about that's what I loved about the artists I loved. I learned something while I'm listening to them. The bar is dope, and I just learned something new, and that's why kind of how I ended up.
That's sick, bro. Yeah, I think. That's really ill, because in some cases I feel like an artist might stay away from that just because it's going to go over people's heads. They're not going to know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. But
the fact that you don't care and you do it anyway is kind of cool, because like you don't see that too often anymore. Like guys like MF Doom do it, like A$AP Rock, I guess, like guys that are like that doing it. but it's not to say that we don't get anything you're saying. Of course, there's things that land, but then there's certain things where I'm like, what was that? You know? So I thought that was also kind of cool about you. I'm going to take a pause there from going deeper into the music. I did want to ask you about because I feel like you have your own kind of series of the Guapo thing going on.
Yeah.
And I'd like to know just a little bit of what it's about. I did listen through them, and I felt like it was dope. I think Guapo 2 and 3 I listened to. Guapo 3 was like kind of more haunting, more villainous.
Yeah. And
Guapo 2 was like, I think, more fun and more playing to the Latin sounds and stuff like that, which are dope, dude. I think you speak Spanish better than me, bro.
I was raised around a lot of Latinos, man. I was raised around a lot of them, you know?
Yeah, it's really ill, dude. Can you just talk to me a little bit about the ideas behind that and what led you to go into the Guapo series like that?
So Guapo 1 it's like tucked away on Spotify because it's considered a single and not a project. So because it was only like 5-6 songs or whatever. But it's got some of my more popular songs like Nimbus is on there. And I love the song Horizon. But so that project was kind of dark. Kind of has like a darker, like ominous vibe. There's songs like about one of my favorite songs I've ever written is called Famous. I don't want to be famous. I just want to be paid. So you have songs like that, songs like Forever Alone, talking about like wanting a relationship and not finding it. Life goes on, like the mistakes you make in life, whether it be with relationships or friends. And then you got songs like Nimbus and songs like OT, which was more of like, you know, a turn up record, like more fun summertime thing. But it was something I wanted to do for my birthday at the time. So that's why on the cover of that one, it's like a drawing of me and it's raining and there's a cake.
That's
so
sick.
It's like almost like, you know, melancholia type shit, you know. And then El Guapo 2 was the same idea, birthday release, more fun, still a little dark. So I was like Max Out and stuff like that on there. So there's, you know, Hell Yeah, Bat Out of Hell. There's still like very like there's still like some dark ominousness to it, right?
I forgot. Yeah, that's right.
And then El Guapo 3, I don't know why I decided with this one to do it this way. So I'm a huge movie person. I'm a huge horror movie person, and I love Scream. So the new Scream was coming out, and I was sitting back like, yo, I should just do a whole project that's like Scream when the new Scream movie comes out. And then I was like, well, why don't I just flip that and do like, why don't I make a soundtrack to the first Scream and do it that way? So El Guapo 3 is like a soundtrack to the first movie of Scream.
That's crazy.
So if you play it with the movie, it fits along with that, but it also fits the narrative of El Guapo because the first El Guapo is that melancholy feeling. The second one is me trying to overcome that while also accepting a bit of the edge and the bracing of that. Bro. And then the first song on El Guapo 3 is almost like schizophrenia. It's going back and forth between me balancing I'm teetering on the knife and then the Beatle switch, and it's me going into like the mode of a killer.
Was Trilogy on?
Trilogy's the first song.
It's the first song, right? Yeah. The Beatle switching up. Love it, man.
And that's me like going back and forth between the thoughts of a killer. What would a killer be like in this scenario? He's balancing. It's like these smooth, like Leo played chords and then sampled the chords that he played to make it sound more crisp. And then it's like, you know, it's less haunting and then it gets very haunting.
That's crazy.
And it's almost like going through that. Yeah.
Are you, when you're thinking of these ideas, you're working with your producer at the same time simultaneously then to create that sound?
Not always.
Okay.
I'll just come to him with the idea after the fact. So I pretty much had all of that project written and then went to him and went to Leo and was like, hey, we're going to spend a day just knocking this out. So prepare yourself.
Man, dude.
Yeah.
Was it always like that with you for writing, like, you know, writing quickly and being able to pump that out?
Unfortunately. Yeah, I've always been a very fast, like, that's why I think people get offended, like when I'm like, they're like, hey, you want to come work on a song? I'm kind of like, you want to just send it to me? Because I always feel bad because if I go to the studio and I write the verse, I'm probably going to be done in like 20 minutes, maybe less, maybe 30 max. And then you might, and there's nothing wrong with being meticulous and you take your time because you probably memorize it faster too if you do it that way. But I'm done. Like, I'm good. I'll go lay the verse and that's it.
Damn it, dude.
You know what I mean? So it's like I don't need to spend a lot of time on it.
Yeah.
And I rarely do any rewrites. I usually just go and I got it. Okay, I'm good. That's it.
Yeah, Personal was on here. He said that he had you on a feature and he sent it to you. And I think within 30 minutes he sent it back and he was just like, son of a bitch.
Yeah. I like to let people know, like, okay, hey, I'm about to play it. All right, cool. I fuck with this. All right, I'm gonna send you something in a minute. And then I record it and I send it. You like it? All right, cool. Then we're good.
Man, dude, that's dope, man. I know that's not easy, as much as it sounds probably easy, like from the, from the audience or something. I know it's actually tough.
Yeah.
But you just make it happen. I mean, you just,
Yeah.
And the thing that I found about writing, because a lot of people, struggle with trying to put out something. But for me, when you put yourself like focused and you zone everything out and you just press on, you could get it done.
Yeah.
But it's a matter of, are you going to focus and do it?
It's mind over matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to really just go, I'm going to knock this out. And then there's those times where you'll get discouraged. You'll discourage yourself for sure. You know what I mean? You'll sit down and like in the first 10 minutes, you haven't come up with a line and now you're mad at yourself.
Yeah.
When odds are you came up with a bunch of lines. Just write the lines down and then just build them from there. Because you'll go like, even I go through for like, I haven't written anything in like a week. Have I lost it? Have I lost the touch? Yeah. And then I write some stuff like, oh man, I got this. But you gotta at least write it down. Any thoughts you have, just write them. Yeah. Because those might turn into greater bars. You can go, oh, well, I can flip that into this, or that type of thing.
But yeah, that was something cool that I heard somebody recently say, is like writing your ideas down. People should do that more often.
For sure.
When they get them, because
we get embarrassed. Like, who else is reading them but you, bro?
Right.
Like, just do it. And then I do the same. I'll be like, I don't want to write that down. That sounds corny. That's whack. So nobody's reading this but you. Like, just do it.
Yeah. And I love that. See, that leads into the segue about the story that I've heard you say on the other podcast about you were debating on whether or not to do this track. I think that was going to be like paying homage to, was it to Linkin Park, right?
Yeah.
And you were kind of like going back and forth, like, this is kind of corny. Nah, I should just do it. Can you tell our audience just a little bit about that? Or just, about that story. And like,
so it was the anniversary of Hybrid Theory. I want to say it was like 20 years. And I told myself, that made me feel so old. And I told myself, because that's one of those turning point albums in my life for sure. Like that changed the way I wrote. That changed everything as a little kid.
Big, like
huge
Jay-Z worked with them. Like,
so I was like that when I heard Hybrid Theory, it blew me away. It changed everything for me. So I was like, I want to do, like, I originally was gonna write it to Spray Paint Ink Pens, which is a Fort Minor song. One of the first times I ever heard Lupe Fiasco was on Spray Paint Ink Pens. So I love that beat. And then I ended up just doing it on the High Voltage remix beat that had Pharoah Monch on it on the Reanimation album. And I was like, oh, I'm going to write this, and I should do like a video for it, like a little one-shot video, and record it and put it out. And then I just started, we get in our heads. And I was just like, nobody's going to listen to this. Like, should I even do this? Like, nobody's going to. And eventually I was like, no, just do it. Just do it and put it up. I did it, put it up, and within the first 30 minutes, Mike had seen it. You know what I mean? So it was just like, I like fell to the floor of my house. Like, they were like, people were commenting and they're like, he saw it. And I was like, what are you talking about?
And this guy is such a legendary dude in his own right. Like, man, dude.
Yeah, when he DM'd me like, yo, send me that, I want to remix it. I was, and can you write a second verse? Yeah. That's why I wrote a second verse, and we got a whole song.
Wow, dude. And then later on, he does something like on a live, I think you said, where you were able to kind of like send it again, like, hey, remember this? And what was he doing?
He was doing a thing called Shinoda Remix Produce Me, where he was going to start doing that for artists, where he would like produce. So I sent him that. I retagged him in that just to kind of go like, hey, remember me, because I'm going to do another song. And he DM'd me like, no, I want to do this one.
Was he like recreating a beat or something? Or?
So he made the beat from scratch. I sent him the stems and he made a beat, and you could still see it on YouTube. It's still on his page of him making the beat to the song that was Voltage, and him asking me, hey, what do you think of this sound? Bro, do whatever. He's got the fact he was using classic just like cuts and chops and drum and just different things from Fort Minor time. I was like, this is, man, sometimes I just zone out and I just can't believe that. Like, that's Mike Shinoda, bro. Like, that's insane.
Right. It's so like crazy, but then it's like you realize how down to earth these guys are, and like how cool these guys are. And it's just like, man, you're just like what I thought. Man, that's dope.
Yeah.
Do you still have you guys kept in contact like that, or you just kind of let that be?
I try not to be. I don't like to be that guy to kind of keep, every now and then, like he'll tell me, because he saw me on Audius as well, which is another music platform. He's like, yo, I saw you on Audius. I talk to them a lot. They do good things. I told him you're dope. I was like,
yeah. And I thought this was so cool about you, is like, starting off in things like you were, listening to like Daft Punk and rapping over stuff like that, which I thought
definitely wrote to Discovery.
That's so crazy, dude. Like what about it like made you like want to write to that? It was just how crazy the sounds were?
I think it's just that origin of being like such a 8-bit kid, like the Sonic soundtrack, the Streets of Rage soundtrack from 1 and 2. Like they're on Spotify. I listen to them all the time. So when I heard One More Time, that's another like formative moment. Like it's funny that the moments for my music, for writing and what I do, it's like it's hybrid theory. It's seeing the Daft Punk music video for One More Time on Toonami.
Damn, that was on Toonami?
It was like on the Midnight Run Toonami. Wow. So they showed the first 4 videos. I didn't know it was a movie yet. Have you ever watched the full movie?
I didn't know that.
So if you go on their YouTube, it's an entire movie. It's called Interstellar 5555.
That's sick.
So, and they actually re-released it last year in theaters. I went and watched it and bawled like a baby.
That's crazy.
So it's literally an anime.
Wow.
So, but there's no words. It's the movie is the soundtrack to it. So
that's ill.
If you've seen the video for One More Time, it's like this blue band performing. Yeah. So it's literally like this blue band performing. These people come from Earth and kidnap them and make them into like humans. And that's how it's basically like in this movie. That's how great musicians get to the world, is because they're kidnapped from alien worlds.
Wow.
And it's that. So it's this crazy
freaking
like
Daft Punk.
So they showed the first 4 videos and I was like, wow. Like I was mind blown. So then I bought Discovery and there was that, and then 50 Cent. So it's like I bought Get Rich, and that's like the weirdest like turnabout. But yeah, no, Daft Punk is not being able to work with Daft Punk before they split is like one of my biggest regrets. Like I didn't get big soon enough to work with Daft Punk. Like, do
you remember the first like 50 Cent track that like really like hit you? Do you remember?
I remember the night I watched the Wanksta video. I on MTV Jams. I remember the beat hitting and being like, just like, what is this? That beat is incredible. Shout out to Shot Money XL. And just watching that video and be like, yo, what is this? And then in the club dropped and I was like, what is going on? And I remember going to the swap meet, going to the Waterman like the month before he dropped and seeing the album already leaked and just waiting. And that was the first time my mom really let me get an unedited album again. Dang, was that album.
That's crazy.
For a long time, I had to get Exhibits albums edited. It was like, it was a whole thing. Like
Eminem stuff edited?
That was what messed it up, because I got the Slim Shady LP. It was the first album I bought with my own money. It was between that and 400 Degrees, which kind of tells you where my rap style could have went either way, but because I loved Juvenile. But I got that album. And then after that, my mom saw Eminem's mom on like Sally Jesse Raphael and was like, you can't listen to unedited music anymore. So it just became this whole thing until
Sally Jesse Raphael. She got mentioned on the show.
Shout out to Sally Jesse, man. She was a legend in the field. But yeah, I had to get dope. I used to try to go hide all the edited copies and then go, well, I guess I got to get the unedited mom. And she wasn't having it.
That's super sick. Yeah, I remember when 50 came out, it was nothing this guy couldn't do that was like untouchable.
I had Get Rich on repeat for 24 hours. My mom got mad. She was like, "Can you turn that off?" Like I went to bed and left it playing. Like it was incredible.
Yeah. It's one of like all-time great albums ever. And it's funny because at that time I was kind of like on this purist movement of backpack rap. So to me, it was just like, oh yeah. But when looking back, I was like, nah, that was hip hop as fuck. Man. Like that was
for sure.
That was a moment. Man, we got Cam Archer in the building. And if you didn't know, he dropped a project on his birthday too. So, hit him up in the DMs if you want to cop that project. It was a dope ass project, dude.
It probably won't be on streaming for like a year. So
yeah,
if you want it, you're going to hit me up for it.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, dude, so let me ask you about that, because it's so different in the way you're dropping this. Like, because to me, this is an album.
Yeah.
But you said this is really just kind of like, it's a collection for you. But to me, it's like, this is a fucking album, dude.
Yeah.
Can you just talk to me a little bit about that? Like your mind process to this and why you didn't really structure this as an album, but more as, and this now in its own way is kind of like its own kind of Don't Mention It series. Yeah. You had that too before.
Yeah. So the original one that I did, I had a show at the Viper Room, because I thought it was closing and it wasn't, but I was like, I have to perform at the Viper Room. I mean, that's where River Phoenix died.
Such a legendary freaking event venue.
Right? So I was like, I have to perform there. So I was like, what's an incentive? Because it was in December. It was like around Christmas time and the World Cup. And I was like, how can I get people to like want to come? I was like, I got some songs. I'll just make an assortment of these songs that I have and I'll package it up. And if you buy a ticket, I'll give you this project. Wow. So, I mean, Don't Mention It, the pleasure is mine. There you go. Boom. Get a whole new project with me. And then like maybe a year and a half, 2 years later, I put it on streaming. And then with this one, it was like, it's my birthday coming up. And I usually drop a song or I drop an El Guapo or something. I was like, I just haven't done that because I've been focused on Banner Boys and some other stuff. And I was like, yo, I got a bunch. I'm sitting on a lot of music right now that I just don't know where it's going to go. And it's not fitting into the projects that I'm going to drop now. why don't I just do another Don't Mention It? And I was like, all right, cool. Yeah, all right. No, really, don't mention it here. Here's another one.
Yeah, it is so cool because like at the end of the album, like, and then I look back at the title of the album, I'm like, fucking yeah, man, Don't Mention It. And then this is a fucking dope ass album on top of that. Yeah, I thought it was, man, it was fun. It was enjoyable. The beat selection was crazy dope. Your flows and cadences is like, this is not nothing like less of you. Like you're doing your thing still.
Yeah, no, the songs are still good. It's just I don't know where they were gonna go.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it was like, I'll just put them together and just.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, because I've been sitting on some of those for a while.
Just kind of talking about this. When you release a project, like, are you doing like CDs, vinyls, and all that? Are you also doing that as well or just digital or?
I was doing CDs for a long time, and then it just, the demand just kind of slipped. So nowadays, if I'm doing another major project, like my next album, yeah, I'll do some CDs or maybe like a small batch to start. We did vinyl for Banner Boys. So it really just depends on what, the demand is going to be or what I want to present it to be.
Yeah.
But for the next project, I'm probably going to do vinyl, disc, and cassette. I want the next one's going to be more. Because I don't feel like I've put out an album since since Inside Voices, but that didn't follow the plot of anything. I wasn't like a story outside of anything but my life. I just ended up writing a screenplay to match it. So I haven't put out what I would consider a world album since Spirit Gunner. So the next one I do is going to be a bigger deal for me as far as the creative process and as far as the world that's built within it.
That's ill.
Yeah.
So since you mentioned, let's go back into one of your older albums then, since you mentioned it. I don't know if I want to go with this one. Let's go with Inside Voices, I guess. Okay. Yeah, let's go with that one. I think I heard you talk a little bit about this. But that album, the title kind of speaks to its own, like it kind of already leads you into a little bit of what you're talking about. Why Inside Voices for you at that point in time? Why did you go more personal like that, coming from like world building and stuff like that?
So I had this whole plan going into that year. The year before, I had made like a bunch of songs, and I was going to drop like 2 or 3 like EPs that still told a small story, but they weren't like albums, right? And in the process of that, I was mad sad. So I made all these songs, and I was like, you know what? I was like, before I drop these EPs, I'll drop this in April, and it'll just be like this whatever, thing. But it's just what I was going through at the time in the fall. And it ended up being like my most popular project. And it would have gotten picked up by a few like label things. And I had already dropped Reckless Summer, and I'd already announced it, so they didn't want to touch it. Yeah. But that ended up being like a very popular project for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was not planned. There was nothing planned about that.
Well, this is only if you care to share it, Cam. Yeah. But why sad for you? Like what elements led to you being like that?
I don't know, seasonal depression maybe. And then just stuff in relationships and just there was some inner turmoil at the time for sure. And that's why also that cover is in real life.
Yeah.
And all my previous covers were all animated because they were all just a different story thing. And this one was more so from real life and more of a real reality kind of thing.
Did that help you creatively, like, write kind of more like with clarity and stuff, like going through these emotions? Did that help you write even more cohesively because of that? Like,
it probably just helped me be more open.
Okay.
I think the cohesion kind of came by accident. I didn't even plan for this to be an album. I just was making songs that reflected my mood and where I was at. And I'm very good at weaving together songs and making them into something, even if they weren't supposed to be.
Yeah. That's
a talent I have from childhood. I used to make soundtracks for my cousin's comic books that he would draw. So I would create a playlist, this was before playlisting was a thing. I would just go, these songs fit the comic book you made, and I would make it a list, and it would be cohesive. Yeah. So doing that as a kid helps me now. I put together the best track list of any artist I know because I know what weaves in together, I know what leads in and out, I know how to build a track list head to toe.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard you mention this, I think. But man, I was picturing this, like, if we had a verses out here,
Yeah, I said that.
You'd be a tough one
Yeah.
You'd be a tough one just because of your body of work.
Plus, I got too much stuff.
Plus, you could sequence it however you want.
Yeah, that's why.
Plus, you got Damian and you got freaking
Leo.
Oh Gosh. Yeah, that's a deadly
take
combination.
the stage away, because if we were performing on top of just playing the songs, I'm cooking everybody.
Yeah.
Sorry, IE rappers, I'm cooking.
You know what's crazy is like, you know, you're a dope ass artist, but like your beginnings, you started as like a host. Like, how did that happen? Like, you know, hosting,
sorta,
like, because you were hosting in the Common Ground and stuff, right? Before the early beginnings of that, and then you led into like, you know, booking shows and doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, so when I first started, in my naivety and not knowing any better, I thought I was the only rapper in the IE. When I first started, I thought there's nobody else out here. I'm about to shake the world. And I got on Twitter and I see Noah James. And I don't see a picture of Noah. I just see like he had like an elephant as his pick.
Oh, that was during the time the elegant elephant thing
exactly.
he was going through.
And then I see Curtis King. And I see he's like, oh, he's an artist and he's moved out here and he's doing all this stuff. And I'm seeing all these videos, these performances in this packed place. And I tweet him and he's like, oh, yeah, this is the Common Ground. It's in Riverside. You should come. And I was like, okay. So me and Dre, one Sunday, we hop in the whip. We go down there. And I remember I didn't know who Noah was. I've said this multiple times. I thought he was the bodyguard. I just saw this giant dude at the door.
Yeah, and I think he was I think he mentioned to me that he was a bodyguard previously.
He was.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that was Noah James.
Right,
I was just like, they are secure. That's all I thought. So I go in, Richard Wright's up there rapping, like all these people are up there rapping. And I went up and freestyled and I meet Curtis King and I realized like I need to be here more. And I immediately went to Noah, I asked him if I could perform. He's like, yeah, come next month. You'll be on the next one. And I did my first show there. And then I want to say maybe a year after that, maybe 2 years, is when because the original host was M16. And then it became myself and 3D Beats. Shout out to 3D Beats. He just put out a project, local legend. Go get
dope. That. Shout out to 3D Beats.
We became the hosts together. And from there, then it became me going, well, I want to throw shows. And then in San Bernardino, I started throwing shows at the Orange Show. And they're kind of where they do the horse
that because
racing.
like you felt like there was a lack of that, or what? Why is it that?
Yeah, I wanted more opportunity for San Bernardino side. Like this was in Riverside. I wanted to also be in San Bernardino. I wanted us to kind of build ourselves up as well, just like Noah had. I wasn't trying to just ride coattails. I wanted to build my own thing.
Right.
And so we started in the front of while people were still doing horse races, we had this little stage in the front.
That's crazy.
And we built the rapport enough that we got this big stage in the back that sat like 1,000 people, had a bar, like all this stuff, and started doing shows there. Yeah.
Man, that's so dope. Yeah, I mean, you know, obviously you have mad love for the Dino. I think there's been even instances like where you performed in Los Angeles or somewhere out the city and you know, you had to make it known, like, yeah, I'm from the Dino.
Yeah, every time.
Yeah.
Whether I go in LA or I go out of state, because they like to say, oh, they'll try to sneak LA in there. And the first thing I say when I get on stage is I'm Cam Archer, I'm from San Bernardino, California, every time.
Yeah, that's so powerful too. You know, for I mean, at least from what I know, I mean, I don't know. I don't think, you know, there was a scene as much as there is nowadays, but, you know, can you just talk a little bit about, you know, the Dino and what that really means to you, the passion for the Dino, and like, you know, just your thoughts about it from where it was to now, why you love it so much.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love it because it was all I knew for a very long period of my life. And because I had blinders on to everything. I didn't know I was in the day. I was on 13th and Baseline, bro. Like I was not in 13th and Waterman, really. I was not in the safest area. You know what I mean? Like, but to me, it was, I even have a song about that on my very first project about how, like, to me, the Fame Liquor was not this horrible place. That's where I went and got Pokemon cards. I loved Fame Liquor.
That's
you know what I mean?
Yeah, Pokemon cards were sick.
Yeah, I would go up there, I'd get $5 and I save up enough money. I'm going to buy some Pokemon cards from Fame Liquor. Like, OK Video is where I rented some of my first video games. That's where I rented South Park for the first time. You know what I mean? Like the videos, like just things like that.
Those kind of spots stick with you.
They stick with you, and that's how the whole city is for me. You know what I mean? Like it's so I've always had love for it. And then it's obviously there's multiple rappers here in the Dino now.
Yeah, representing
heavy.
Yeah.
So it makes it even easier now because there's all different facets, spitters, just trap rap, you know what I'm saying? You know, if you want to get ratchet, we can do that. We can do anything you want in the Dino, bro. We got all different levels.
Yeah, like all your guys' sound is dope because it's all different, but then there is a common thread there, you know, with the bounce and like the sound. Like there's some similarities, but it's also different. You know, being from the West Coast, I think a lot of outsiders would tend to think, oh, we're kind of all G-funk down here, down south. Music from the Dino is not like G-funk per se. How would you say it's different, and why do you think it's different? And
I think it's different because there's so many melting pots of things in the Dino, because obviously you get LA transplants from here, or people who come from here. They may go to Mobile, they may go to San Bernardino. It's one or the other sometimes. But then you also just get people who come from different states and end up here in San Bernardino, just on a whim sometimes, and other times it's not. But I think that helps to add to that. And then you got the college too, so you get people who come here for Cal State San Bernardino, and then they might migrate and end up in San Bernardino, and that can also influence the sound because there's just so much influence in different places. And San Bernardino is a big city, and people kind of forget that. So
even the county, if you really want to take it bigger, we're part of the county.
Exactly, it's massive. So it's a huge place. So the fact that it's such a huge place, and for so long it was really affordable to come here, and still be in stone's throw from all these different areas, it helps to develop a sound.
Now, how did you run into Leotis, and then we'll go into Damian after that? But like, how did you know him when he was like super young, or what one was it? Then you ran into him and met him.
Technically, I mean, he was pretty much right out of high school for him, basically. So the funny part was, so I was originally a part of Half Valve Entertainment, and then we had a guy who wanted to manage us. He had a group called BYD, which is Build Your Dreams, right? So that's how I met Dre Shot. He was there. He was another artist that Dre was going to manage. And then he had a band called Thursday Night Out that he was going to manage. And in that band was a keyboard player, and it was Oh Gosh. Didn't know that at the time.
That's crazy.
So Oh Gosh started entering the beat battles because he's from a long line of beat makers. So, I mean, you got Captain and you have Villain, who's now Mason. He now raps as well. But they made beats, and then he started making beats out of high school. Wow. So he was doing the beat battles and stuff like that, and he was crazy. I thought he was dope. So I remember I invited him over once, and he sold me he was just barely starting out and sold me like 5 beats for $70. And I used a lot of those beats on the Chronicles of Cam Archer. Go try to find it if you can. I used those beats on there. And then when I was working on Cocomania and I had to restart it, I remember I hit him up and I was like, yo, I'm about to restart this album basically from scratch. Do you want to work on this with me? He was like, yeah, sure. Come through. And we started working from there, and it's been that way since like 2015. We just built this rapport. Yeah.
What do you remember the program he was using back then?
Still Fruity Loops.
Wow. Okay.
It was
Fruity Loops. Fruity Loops was so big for a lot of people starting off as a launching pad. It was like between Fruity Loops or Reason. Yeah. And now there's all kinds of tools and products that you can use now. Also too, I know there's another guy out here that is also dope at making beats, which is Damian. And do you remember meeting him for the first time? And
yes, I do.
Where that started.
So Damian was friends with Kasai since they were kids. So since like 11, 12 years old. Wow. So when we started doing the whole OE thing, he was like, Damian's going to be in it. But he was off in college. He was in Arizona because he was Olympic level athlete. He just happened to blow out his knee. He was going to actually compete in the Olympics for Ghana.
Damn, that's crazy. Okay.
So he was down one day during off season, and he comes over, and we're starting to work on stuff for like what would be an OE project. This is our first time really being around each other. And I actually spit Cam's interlude is what I spit. He played the beat, and I was like, I think I got something for that. And I spit to that, and he like looked at me, and he was like, he played it back. He was like, spit it again. And that was like the first time we ever actually really even were in the same room together.
That's ill. That's ill. Yeah. Especially when some musical magic happens like that. Like that's like a Dre Eminem moment. Like that's like one of those kind of moments.
But it's funny because we also did we did some stuff in the Bay together. We've done some stuff, but it probably took us the longest to really hone the process for how we would work together. Yeah. I was just so used to working with Leo. So we had to really get to know how we wanted to work. We became cool very quickly. Yeah. But musically we had to go, okay, we got to figure out, we got to work the kinks out of how we're going to work together.
Yeah. Yeah. And how do you mean, like, is it like a matter of sitting there together, like listening through beats, or him sending you beats? Like, what is the preference
both.
there? Okay.
It's both. And honestly, you're probably better off being in the room and then you're seeing how fast the other one works and how they put it together.
Yeah.
And doing that thing in the Bay was helpful because we knocked it out, and like it was one of those things where they give you the idea or like the pack and you got to finish it in X amount of time.
Yeah.
So we did that, and it was like Machine Masters or something like that. And seeing that we could both do this in like 15 minutes and just like knock it all out together. You know?
Damn, dude, that's sick. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's dope. Man, let's switch gears here. Let's go into something a little bit more fun here. I'm gonna ask you because I consider our show to be somewhat of an underground drink champs. You know, that's what I like to aspire us to. I'm gonna do a matchup, a wrestling matchup. Mm-hmm. I know you like wrestling.
Love it.
I was more of a fan during the Rage era, and then like I kind of lost or disconnected and don't know like more recent times what's going on. I somewhat do. Mark and Ali, big time wrestling guys, but.
Well, shout out to them.
Yeah, shouts to them. I'm going to throw some guys, though, that I do know their names, but and I want to see what your reaction is and who you choose and who you're going for out of this wrestling lineup here.
Okay.
This one's a dope one. Okay, let me start with this then. Hulk Hogan or Macho Man?
It's fuck Hulk Hogan, alive or dead.
Yeah,
forever.
recently passed, but yeah. He's.
I have a series of tapes called the Heel Tapes, and on every heel tape there is a fuck Hulk Hogan interlude, where it's different wrestlers who have said fuck Hulk Hogan. I've never rocked with Hogan. None of my.
Oh, never
rock.
even
I've
before. Never really
Hogan.
followed or liked him like that.
I don't like Hulk Hogan. I'm definitely a Macho Man guy.
Okay, for sure, Macho Man. Easy one.
Easy.
Ultimate Warrior or Sting?
Warrior. I mean, he's problematic too, but as a little kid, I loved Ultimate Warrior. I really did. Yeah.
And what about Sting?
I'm not a huge Sting fan.
No.
I respect Sting's legacy. I'm not a huge fan of him.
Ric Flair or Dusty Rhodes?
I'm gonna go Rick. That's tough, but I'm gonna go with Rick. Yeah, I'll go with Rick for that one.
Is it just because of like the energy and like, or what
they
was
low
it
key,
for
they
you?
both had it. They both had like that natural aura for sure. But I would go with Rick just because of the longevity of that aura and maintaining it for as long as he did. But Dusty was.
Who was it that had him in a music video? Was it Migos? Somebody had him in a music video too.
Offset had him in the Ric Flair drip.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. That's it. Bret Hitman Hart or Shawn Michaels?
The answer is Bret. You could have stopped at Bret. Yeah, Bret's probably like my personal favorite all-time wrestler. I'm a Hitman guy for sure.
And what is it about him for those that don't really know Bret like that?
So I guess this even comes down to like rapping. Like Bret, like from the technical standpoint, was just a purist. Like he made everything look good. He made everybody in the ring with him look good. He made the art form look great. There was no frills, there was no nonsense, but he can make the audience feel for him if he's going through it in a match as a great face. And then when he actually became a heel and flipped into a heel and was doing his pro-Canada heel thing, where there's a lot of honesty in a lot of what he was saying, he did that amazingly. And he shouldn't have been able to do that. And he was cutting amazing heel promos and just crapping on America and was still loved in Canada.
Yeah.
It was the dopest thing.
But to get people to flip like that with you, that takes a lot of influence and power to really get the crowd to all feel this way about you, from feeling love to that. Yeah.
And seeing the whole Austin thing coming and able to help build that up. Like Bret's goated, man.
Now I always hear about Shawn Michaels too. Like, is it a close one for you, or was
Not
it
at all?
No.
Now Shawn's great. I think Shawn's a little overrated.
Okay.
But Shawn he's up there for sure. He's one of the most charismatic wrestlers there ever was. But I think his work gets a little overhyped.
Okay.
To me.
Okay, fair game. Undertaker or Sting?
Undertaker.
Yeah, I feel like you were gonna go Undertaker.
Taker's on the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. Just that, even just coming in with the dong.
He had the worst character gimmick ever and made it into like the longest career possible, bro. You're gonna be a dead Undertaker. Okay. Cool.
Oh man. And then for a while he had Abel, who was supposed to be like
Kane,
Kane. So that was kind of crazy.
Who was burned alive. Yeah.
Oh, this one's a good one. I'm curious who you're gonna choose here. Stone Cold Steve Austin or The Rock?
I'm gonna go Austin.
That's a classic matchup there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Austin. If I'm being fair. Yeah, that's Austin.
And why Austin for you?
Austin actually had more of a longevity and a body of work in the business that wasn't as kind of like choppy. Like Rock, I feel like wrestled because it was the launching pad. It was the third option for him.
Yeah, because he was into like football at first, I believe.
He loved football and he loved acting first. He would want to be an actor. He wanted to be a football player. Both those things didn't work out. Then he wrestled, and then as soon as he got the Hollywood thing hit him, and he was out of here. So he comes back periodically, but it was never like in it.
Yeah, not the.
And
same.
Austin shook the world, bro. Like, like
Took
fine,
over,
I was at the last WrestleMania, and that was the first time I got to be in a building with the glass shattering him coming out, and I lost it, bro. Like it was insane.
I was wondering, like, who's throwing them these beers? Like,
those guys, just tossing them the beers.
Just a bunch of beers, like unlimited supply.
They got a whole cooler full of beers for the guy. Yeah.
Oh man, so that's sick. Triple H or Kurt Angle?
Kurt Angle.
Wow, over Triple H.
Easy. Kurt Angle's probably on the Mount Rushmore to me too. Kurt Angle's arguably at this point is becoming underrated for how good he actually was.
Damn, dude, that's crazy. But Triple H is the one that's like kind of like carrying the mantle now, no? Like
he's the new Vince McMahon. Yeah. But if you like when you really read more about Triple H, like I like Triple H, but like there's a lot of politics and stuff that he was doing. Like he even had it so that when the wrestling games would come out on the back, like where they're showing you the stuff on the back, he couldn't be getting beat up on the back of the game. Like there couldn't be any game art where he's getting beat up. I was like, yo, that's insane. That's nuts, bro.
Let's see. Edge or Jeff Hardy?
I'm gonna go Jeff. Jeff's always invited to the cookout. Shout out to Jeff Hardy.
Jeff Hardy, I feel like, man, the acrobat, like the way he's like jumping and doing crazy stuff like that is crazy.
I feel like everybody, even in the hood, we wanted to be Hardy Boys.
Yeah,
that was the ultimate thing. And then I was in love with Lita on top of that.
Yeah, and I feel like it almost kind of started this backyard wrestling thing almost. Like
it definitely helped.
Yeah,
it definitely helped. The Hardy Boys, Team Extreme, that was a moment.
Yeah,
that was a moment for sure.
Goldberg or Brock Lesnar?
This is also an anti-Goldberg establishment here, so it's.
I haven't really heard about him like in recent times. He's like
he just had his retirement match.
Oh, okay, retirement.
He just it's not even. I don't even know what he does politically. He's just the worst wrestler I've ever seen. He ended Bret Hart's career. He's the catalyst for Bret Hart's career ending. He accidentally kicked him and he gave him this concussion.
Because he was carrying like WCW for a minute, no? Like kind of like the main guy.
Yeah. The most unpolitically correct thing I can say is, to me, he was just like, they looked at Steve Austin and they said, what if we gave him autism? Like he's gonna dress like him, but he's really big. He doesn't talk. He just yells and screams, and he has 2 moves.
Yeah,
book it, and it worked, and that's great for them. I'm glad it worked out, but I never need to see him in a wrestling ring ever.
That's funny. Eddie Guerrero or Rey Mysterio?
Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero. I mean, Rey's obviously the greatest luchador of all time.
He's always going to be like an iconic.
I mean, and those two together made magic. They've got one of the greatest matches of all time. Eddie was just, man. Rest in peace,
I kind of forget because he was around during the Rage era too as well, right? I believe.
Eddie was from the 80s until basically when he passed, and what was that, like 06?
Okay.
Yeah, so he started in Mexico, ECW, WCW, WWF, WWE. Just incredible.
Man.
Incredible in-ring worker.
This one's more up to date. John Cena, well, not more, I guess, but John Cena versus Randy Orton.
It's John Cena. John Cena is the actual, if we're just looking at WWE as a conglomerate and he's the GOAT of what they are.
Wow, man. I feel like I missed that wave because, like, I just remember Stone Cold Steve Austin and I stopped after that. Like,
oh, yeah. No, I tried. I've never been able to quit wrestling. Wrestling's one of my earliest memories as a child, watching WrestleMania 9 when I was really little. So I've just been a wrestling fan my whole life, bro.
That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
CM Punk or Daniel Bryan?
CM Punk.
I don't know these two guys. So
CM Punk he's more of like, if I could compare the two, it's like, and I mean this with all due respect to both parties that I'm about to make, it's like Pac and Big. So it's like, if you look at Big, lyrical dexterity, he has the technicality stuff down, but Pac made you feel everything.
Made you cry and stuff like that, yeah.
That's Punk and Bryan. Bryan is arguably the greatest in-ring wrestler of all time, but Punk makes you feel things, and he's done it for years. Like, he was gone out of WWE for 8 years, and they chanted his name every year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oof, damn. Yeah. That's crazy. We got a few more. Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins?
Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is the low-key GOAT of this generation. Yeah, shout out to Seth. It's like, what if we took Shawn Michaels and we took Macho Man Randy Savage and we mixed them together, and now you have this guy right here. Yeah. Oh, and some Chris Jericho too. Mix that in. And now we have him.
Kenny Omega or AJ Styles?
Oh, this is the first one. This is the first one that's actually like, God damn. Damn, that's really difficult. I'm going to feel bad about whoever I say here. Damn.
And you have to choose one.
Yeah. That's probably where the shots would have came in. Huh?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, if I had to pick, man, I'm going to go with AJ. Just because AJ's been doing this in the consciousness. Yeah. He kind of was in the spotlight a little bit longer. But Kenny Omega's in like 3 of arguably the greatest matches of all time. And they've happened in the past like 6 years. It's tough. That's tough.
All right. We're going to switch it up. This one's going to be a rapid fire one. Mm-hmm. So all you have to do is just say one. You don't have to give an explanation or nothing.
Okay.
Comic book matchups.
Okay.
Batman or Iron Man?
Batman.
Superman or Thor?
Thor.
Spider-Man or Nightwing?
Nightwing.
Wow on that one. Wolverine or Ryu?
Ryu.
Woo-hoo. That one's cold. That one's hard. The Flash or Quicksilver?
Flash.
Wonder Woman or Storm?
Storm.
Green Lantern or Doctor Strange?
Green Lantern.
Sick one. Captain America or Cyclops?
Cyclops.
Wow, bro. I can't have you explain it, though. Okay. Deadpool or Harley Quinn?
Deadpool.
Black Panther or Aquaman?
Black Panther.
Venom or Bane?
Bane.
Hulk or Doomsday?
Doomsday.
Magneto or Lex Luthor?
Magneto.
Jean Grey or Scarlet Witch?
Scarlet Witch.
Thanos or Darkseid? Darkseid?
Darkseid.
Ooh. All right. You have it. That's counts choices. I wanted to ask him about the Spider-Man one and Nightwing, but I'm going to leave that alone.
I figured. I looked at the wall and I could tell you what asked me about that. Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. Yeah, piece of that. Come Outside.
Yeah.
That project I felt was super dope too. Man, and I picked out some lines I liked out of that as well.
Yep.
Let me see if I can go into it real quick here. Yeah, and it had a booming bass. There was a lot of space on that for you to really do your thing.
Yeah.
Just from the
project.
Yeah, just from the start. I'd be up at 7 and I tweet, "I'm really him, bitch."
Yeah. Wake up at 7 a.m. just to say I'm really him, bitch.
That one I loved just because like the humor in it, like it was light, but it was just like, yeah, that like that's where you're coming from, right? Like you're starting up like that already.
This is the energy.
Yeah. I love that. I need a grill because I don't smile without incentive. 12 in my Civic plus the real G's living. A couple in my city want to scuffle and I ain't tripping. I might double back on buddy to remind him I got mittens. I just love the vernacular. Like even saying buddy, I come back on buddy. Like I just love like the way you're saying it is ill. Then chain. Watch my glitch on my ligament. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Permanent marker on her tit for a signature. And then you go in tit for tat after you just said that, which was the wordplay, like all that's in here. It's like crazy. It's all over the place.
We really did that in college, by the way.
Yeah.
To go to the parties with markers and
it's,
sign them.
And then the tit for tat, my legacy is intact. Dino know me. Spread it across the map. Say he LA that could get you slapped. Don't pull up on cam if I ain't asked.
Yeah. Don't come to my house when I tell you to come over. Don't do that. Yeah.
I just love it, man, because like everything you're writing, dude, I feel like it's all coming from like real life experiences. It's all real. And then like at the same time, you're not like putting it all out there. It's kind of like for those who are really going to like dig deep and like look at the lyrics, yeah, you're going to find it, but it could almost feel masked in a way.
Yeah.
Are you consciously masking it? Like, are you doing that on purpose, or is that like just happening? Like,
yeah, it's always pretty intentional.
Okay.
So especially with this project, it was really a very petty project. Somebody asked why I wasn't on a list that came out of like a report card of these rappers from the IE. I wasn't even on it. And I retweeted, and my response was, I don't go outside. I'm not one of these, because it was a specific type of rapper that was mostly on this list, and there was only a couple like lyricists, and they weren't rated very highly, so I didn't care. But it was just like, you know what, man, I could do this whenever I want. This is not very difficult to me. So I made Cameras Outside. And
was it like from the point of this like report card thing to you dropping the album? Was it how far apart was that from the album dropping?
Probably longer than I wanted, just because of some other stuff. Not even because the music was taking some time to make it, just timing wise, and then just wanted to add songs, and then not allowing me to do what I wanted to do, because I still, me being me, had to weave some type of story into this. So shout out to Miss Bliss for helping me do that, and kind of like showing this is why I don't go outside, because this is what can happen if I go outside. Yeah.
Everybody gets torched out here. Yeah. Everybody gets torched, but it does have some classic tracks on here, like the Street of Rage one.
Yeah, that Streets of Rage sample. Yeah,
that's a classic one.
Yeah, man.
Ruthless. Like, there's a lot of tracks on here.
Yeah.
Big Shot. Like, a lot of them feel like fun too. Like, you know, just a lot of your music makes you feel like dancing, like, or bopping or moving, or if it makes you feel like doing that, which is cool. And then on top of it, you're ice skating on here, you're like satisfying multiple boxes. Like, one, you're giving purist lyricism, but then like you're giving the party something to dance to. Yeah. It's like that usually doesn't come hand in hand.
Just showing the versatility. Yeah. Like, a lot of people can't do that.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to. It was just a flex. It was just me going. Mind you, I can still do this. I can do whatever I want. Yeah. It's not. There's no limit to what I can do.
Did the report card ever respond?
No, they never even did another one. It was one of those things where like they did a report card and they didn't even know anybody out here like that. You know what I mean? Like they just did one. They don't come out here. They don't come to shows. They don't know anybody. Right. You know what I mean? So it was one of those types of things. It was just me being, you know, me. I can be very petty. I can take the smallest thing. Like, I once saw somebody make a diss track about a certain thing and put it on Instagram, and I was about to take a nap, and I saw it and I listened to it, and I got up and then recorded a response, and I was like, I'm not even gonna drop this. Like, I'm not even gonna. They didn't even mention me by name. I just like, oh, this is what we do. Yeah, you know, like, so sometimes you just get in the mood, you know.
I like that though. That's that Kobe MJ energy.
Yeah,
man, they're two of the greatest of all time, and yet they're known for that pettiness.
Just
a little
find
bit.
any little thing
of motivation. Like, don't poke a sleeping giant, ladies and gentlemen, because he will come out, and you better beware. That's all I have to say about that. Yeah, man. I love everything you're doing, man. I love everything that you the growth and everything. Like, man, it's just your body of work is crazy, dude. It's really crazy. Where do you see yourself, Cam, 5 to 10 years from now doing this?
Ideally, by then, I don't even know if I'll have any more of the story left to tell. So it'll probably just be doing whatever I want, kind of thing. Like, I don't ever want to just, like, I love Daft Punk so much, and I'm mad that they broke up, but I respect it, because once they were done telling what they wanted to tell, they just stopped. You know what I mean? And I respect that. So whether it's me just doing voiceover work, or just, you know, creating wrestling content, or if I'm still making music in 10 years, odds are it's at like a level that it's taken me to that point where I want to be at.
Right.
And that doesn't mean I'm doing arenas and stuff like that, though I could. I'd be an amazing arena performer. But just actually creating, and it's getting into the hands of people. But I've built such a back catalog that I feel like in 10 years there could be people still catching up to that back catalog. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that would be cool too. Because I feel like if somebody really wanted to sit down and dissect the music, they'd find a lot of stuff.
Now, I heard about, you know, you not really liking the whole music video thing, which I found was kind of odd, because you're great at making music. You have a lot to record videos to. Yeah. Can you just, you know, can you talk about your mind frame of that, and do you think that will change in the future?
Nah. I don't like being on camera that much. Like, I'm not a huge, like, music. I don't need I think that's another reason why I love Daft Punk, is like when they came up with the helmet idea, which coincidentally, if you don't know, the accident that happened to them took place at 909. That's the whole story of they became robots.
Wait. Can you? I did not know this. Can you? Do you mind diving into that? I didn't know that.
No, not at all. So if you go to their first album, which is Homework, if you look at the back of the booklet, you see them like without their helmets on and shit. And then as time goes on, if you see more of the press that's happening after that, they're starting to wear like random masks. And then Spike Jonze linked them up with a guy who built them the helmets. And they said that on September 9th, 1999 at 9:09, like a mixer blew up. And when they woke up, they were robots. Wow. So that's why they always had the helmets on and stuff like that after that. Because they were now robots. But that was just their way of now being able, they didn't have to be in the spotlight. They could just wear the helmets and they could be left alone.
Right.
And that's like the hard, like once I'm finally at a point where I'm like, I'm beyond having to work a 9 to 5, I want to get the helmets tatted on my hands. That Toman guy, Hangi had, like that'd be fire.
That's fire.
Yeah. But if I can, that's why on the first album cover, like my character has a luchador mask.
Yeah.
You know, and that's kind of like the thing. Like if I could wear a mask all the time, I would. That'd be fire.
Yeah, man, that's fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fire. I love that.
So yeah, a lot of the video concepts I come up with, I'm usually not in them, and then we have to figure it out from there.
Man, that's ill. Who would be your inspirations of like, you know, out here that it could be local or mainstream actually, like your inspirations
to like create.
First, I'll say if you could start with MCs, but then it could be any influence after that.
Okay. Lately, if it's somebody local, it's usually, he's probably getting tired of me saying Phantom Threat. When I listen to Phantom Threat, I'm like, yo, all right, I got to step this up. Like, that's usually like my main one that's like locally, like, all right, here we go. Oh boy, here we go again. That's usually like the main one. Yeah. It's Phantom Threat. Like, I know that it's going to be a problem. Duda. Do the damn thing. He's like lyrically, I'm always like, all right, let me remain sharp. And then Sonny Babble is always like, he's getting just exponentially better. And hearing his new stuff for like some of his new album, I was like, all right, I gotta get back in and remind him. I gotta get back in because if this is how he's coming, I gotta remind him I'm still here, you know, type of thing.
That's dope because these all Dino guys, right? Like
for the most part, yeah. For the most, I mean, well, I think originally Phantom's from Diamond Bar.
Okay.
So
okay.
I don't want to shortchange OSA. Shout out to OSA, one step ahead. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, Duda and Sonny definitely from Dino. And otherwise, outside of the Dino, as far as like rappers go that make me go, oh, I gotta tighten this up. Not that many, honestly. Not anymore. Yeah. I mean, obviously Lupe. Anytime I listen to something from Lupe, I'm already gonna be like, oh, okay, I gotta get better at this. Other than that, I can't say there's anybody that really makes me go like anymore.
Yeah.
This point. I mean, unless Jay comes out with something crazy again.
Yeah.
But at this point, I mean, Gambino was somebody who like when he did Because the Internet, that like threw me.
Yeah.
That threw me
was
for
crazy.
a loop.
Yeah.
So, but lately, not too many. Like
it's crazy how dynamic that dude is. Like,
yeah,
man, he could act, he could do comedy, he could freaking
anything.
Yeah.
I didn't find out about him from music. I found out about him from his skits first.
Oh, really?
And yeah, he was doing
crazy.
Derek comedy, and we would watch those videos on YouTube, and then I was like, oh, he does music, and that's how I went from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are probably like the biggest ones that I can think of off the top of my head. Because otherwise, it's usually not really rap anymore.
Yeah.
That really makes me like get the wheels turning.
Is there any other creative stuff, like it could be movies, comics, or anything else that like inspires you creatively?
Oh yeah, I mean movies for sure.
Okay,
definitely, I'm a big movie person. When I first started rapping a lot, it was me reading Batman comics would always make me like really get into like that mode. Anime is a big influence. Cowboy Bebop is a big influence. Obviously, I did a whole dang Scream movie. One of the biggest influences on Inside Voices, well, two of them were Chasing Amy and Clerks, which are two of my favorite movies. Shout out to Kevin Smith. There's that whole, a lot of like that Kevin Smith energy and the way he writes and the frenetic pace and everything kind of like trickles into my music too. But yeah, Nolan movies, Tarantino movies, you know.
Have you ever thought about like script writing and stuff like that?
Yeah. So, I mean, Inside Voices, there's a script for Inside Voices. That's a whole like screenplay for that. And then I got like 2 other screenplays I'm like working on, just trying to get out of my head about finishing them, you know?
Yeah, that's so.
Yeah.
Man, dude, that's so crazy. Yeah, because I'm thinking like, you know, how you even manage all the stuff that you're doing creatively. Because I know usually, you know, creatives, it usually can take some time to have ideas come through. And I just want to applaud you, man, because it's like the way you put out stuff it's amazing, man. To see you push and work so hard, and it just boom, it comes. Like
it's a gift and a curse, man. Like I literally last year I came up with this whole concept for a project, wrote out the hooks, came up with like the bones of it, and now I just don't even want to do it anymore. Yeah,
and what's so crazy to me is like you can also, and you can tell me how you feel about this, but to me when I'm hearing it, like I'm hearing I forgot which track it was, but there's one where you're like more or less you're kind of like singing a lot or doing it feels like you're singing or doing more of a melodic flow, I guess, and it's totally different from the bar heavy stuff.
Probably Potential.
Maybe, okay.
That's probably Potential. Yeah, that was a fun one. That was a fun record. I love that record.
But like you do it effortlessly, like at least to me, that's how it sounds.
Yeah.
Was it kind of effortless for you to do that, like that switch up, or like did it take some practice to get to that?
Nah.
It was pretty effortless for you to switch it up like that.
Yeah, I always tell people if I had learned to play my guitar when I was a kid, I'd be like the Black John Mayer or something. I wouldn't even be a rapper. This is, you know what I mean? Like
the path, a different
the
timeline.
Timeline. Yeah, you know what I mean? My uncle gave me a guitar, but it wasn't an electric guitar, and I was a dumb 9-year-old. This is like Kurt Cobain played an electric guitar, so I didn't want it. You know what I mean? But like if I was wise enough, who knows where I would have kind of splintered off to. But yeah, no, all that stuff it always comes natural. Right. But it's just a matter of like tampering. I mean, even though Guapo 3, I basically wrote in a day. It basically wasn't like, I mean, No Apologies was written at like 2 a.m. the whole project. You know, it's like I'll just get random spurts and just start. Oh, I got this. You know what I mean? It's not the best. It's not the best process, but it works.
But as long as you make it work, you know, that's what it is. All right. So now I'm going to do a matchup, but this time it's going to be a hip hop matchup. Mm-hmm. And this one, same thing. You can just choose.
Okay.
MF Doom. This was a hard one to match him up with. Earl Sweatshirt.
I will go with Doom.
Okay. I know we said we're not going to ask why, but I'm kind of curious why.
Why? I'm actually not an Earl fan.
Oh, not an Earl fan.
I'm not an Earl fan. No.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never really been big on Earl.
Really?
Yeah, I like some of his beats, but not him.
Okay.
Not a huge fan.
But you don't enjoy his bars and stuff like that? Because
really,
he got bars too.
Not a big fan.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, like Kasai and like True Speech. You know, they loved him, and I was always like, I'm cool. Yeah.
Well, what is it for you that's like that? That's what because of that.
There's a certain level of nonchalant that I can deal with. I think Mike's like the limit. You ever listen to Mike?
I haven't listened.
Mike's incredible. Mike is an incredible rapper from New York. That's about the level of nonchalant I can deal with.
Okay.
That's about it. But he's incredible. He has an album out this year I think it's called That Showbiz that came out earlier this year. Just incredible.
Okay, I'm going to check that out then.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so the level, because his nonchalantness is very, very nonchalant.
Yeah, but I did use one of his beats that Alchemist gave him on the Heel Tape series. That was
yeah, you know, speaking a little about that, I love your remixes. Like you I think you did One Beer Left from MF Doom as well.
Yeah. Like
there's different ones that you've done like this.
Oh, I mean, the Heel Tapes, that's like another 60 songs you can go listen to.
Yeah,
you know
that's fucking dope, dude. That's ill.
I like the whole mixtape format and still, and that one I obviously can't put on streaming though. I can put them on Audius, but I can't put them on like every other streaming site. So if you got Audius, you can go listen to Heels Tapes 1, 2, and 3, which is just me rapping over. And then they all have like usually a heel in wrestling that it's focused on. So the first one was Brett. The second one was Triple H, and the third one was Roman Reigns. That's
incredible, bro.
Yeah,
that's incredible. Yeah. Oh, check that out then. Find them on what platform is that called?
Audius.
Audius. Find them on Audius. Freddie Gibbs, or Rock Marciano.
Damn, just I'm gonna go with Rock.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go with Rock just because of the influence that Rock has had over a lot of rappers.
Yeah. Danny Brown or JPEG Mafia?
JPEG Mafia. I cannot stand Danny Brown's rap voice. I can't do it. I cannot do it. He has one of my favorite random bars, but like I can't do that voice forever.
Joey Badass or Mick Jenkins?
Mick Jenkins. Very underrated.
Wow. Okay. I like Joey Badass a lot. R.A. the Rugged Man or Aesop Rock?
Aesop Rock.
Two of the white dudes.
Yeah.
Aesop Rock?
Yeah.
Atmosphere, Slug, or Brother Ali?
Damn. Probably Atmosphere and Slug.
Okay. This one's interesting right here. This one's a battle within a team. Conway the Machine or Benny the Butcher?
Conway. 10 times out of 10.
I love how Conway's been down here quite often too. Like I feel like he's kind of in touch.
Yeah, he's been out here quite a few times.
With the area.
Yeah.
Just kind of cool. Have you done any shows or anything with him or ran into him?
I ran into him at the Thought Fest. I was hosting the main stage, I think the year that he performed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so when he came back there, I got to see him.
Oh, damn. Okay, so Westside Gunn or Boldy James?
Boldy? Let's put it like this. If it's making albums, it's Gunn. If it's just rapping, it's Boldy.
Okay, so I guess that makes sense. All right. Ka or Open Mike Eagle?
Kyle? As in like light skin Kyle?
It says like Ka.
Oh, Ka. Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Ka. It's Ka.
Yeah.
For sure, it's Ka. It's Ka.
Actually, I haven't heard either of the two, but I know their names.
Open Mike Eagle is more so. People would really lump him in with me.
Okay.
Ka
okay.
just recently passed away. May he rest in peace.
Oh, damn. Okay.
But
Rest in
he's
peace.
incredible lyricist. Ka was incredible.
That's crazy. Blue or Elzai?
By default, it's
Elzai. That's sick. Talib Kweli or Mos Def?
I'll go Mos.
It's crazy because Mos is I think he's in Africa right now. I think
He's working on an album.
Yeah. Is he working with Alchemist or something?
He has one with Alchemist, and he has one that he's working on with like Madlib and like everybody.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Jean Grey or Rhapsody?
Rhapsody.
Fonte, Little Brother, or Black Thought?
Fonte. But that's tough, but I'm going with Fonte, just for my personal preference.
Currency or Dom Kennedy?
That's gonna be hilarious. I can't wait for people to have to see this. This is really funny. Oh, this is hilarious. Tokes.
Wait, why? What's going on? What's the reason?
I don't like either of them.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Currency. Currency fucks with Streets of Rage, so I gotta go with Currency. Seems like a really cool guy, by the way.
Yeah.
He seems super dope. But yeah, I don't listen to Dom, and I don't really listen to Currency. So,
Ciroc or No Name?
No Name.
Wow. Immortal Technique or Dead Prez?
Dead Prez. Just make the song, bro. I don't need the rally speech with the song. Just make the song, bro.
Oh man, I always laugh at my friends because Immortal Technique early on, like this whole revolution thing, it's and God bless him, he's still about that.
He still comes out here all the time. Too.
Yeah, he's still about that. Mm-hmm. But that's his thing.
His lane.
Yeah, that's his lane. Cannabis versus Chino XL. Interesting.
I'll go with Chino. God rest his soul.
Ooh. Yeah. Tech 9 or Grizz Kalika? Chris Kalika.
Oh, Chris Calico.
Calico. I'm sorry.
Tech 9 for sure. Yeah.
Del the Funky Homo Sapien or Cool Keith?
Oh, Del. I mean, guys, just go listen to the words of Clint Eastwood, that's Del the Funky Homo Sapien rapping, and just remember that he's rapping from the perspective of one of the drummer in the band, Russell's, dead friends, because all of Russell's friends that died in a drive-by are in Russell's body. And he's rapping from the perspective of one of them. And when you listen to Clint Eastwood again, you're going to go, yo, this is incredible. Some of the second verse of Clint Eastwood is one of the greatest verses I've ever heard in my life.
That's dope.
Yeah.
What's this? Camp Low or Diggable Planets?
Camp Low.
Were you a Diggable Planets fan at all?
I mean, we all like cool like that, right?
Yeah.
We all like cool like that. But it's just like the rapping ability of Camp Low is crazy.
Yeah. That's all I got for you.
All right.
So here you had it from Cam Archer.
Yeah.
You gotta live or die with it.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm fine with that. Yeah. That's cool with me. Yeah.
of course, Cam has, like I said, a project out right now. You hit him up in the DMs for the project. Don't mention it. And also, too, he has music streaming everywhere.
Yeah. Banner Boys, go get that. Shout out to
Banner
Damian.
Boys is a sick one. Please check that out.
Yeah.
Projects also, too, loaded on Bandcamp?
What is on the Bandcamp? I don't remember what's on my Bandcamp. But if you find the other Bandcamp that has all the other old projects, then you're more than welcome to find it. The name of it has been dropped in this podcast already.
That's dope.
But if you want to go listen to some when Cam, I still go back and listen to that stuff to go, boy, you were trash. I like to go back because I thought I was him back then, and I was not. So it is fun to go back and see the progression.
The growth,
Yeah, for sure.
The growth. You guys got to check out his stuff, man. It's super dope. Now I'm going to go a little bit deeper with you, Cam, and it's up to you on this one how far you want to go with it.
Yeah, go ahead.
But like throughout your music, I hear of like, I think particularly if I were to look on a track, let's see, where is it at? Yeah, I think it's on Banner Boys actually, Come Back Kids.
Mm-hmm.
Cause that one tells like, storytelling of like, of the Dino, like, you growing up, seeing different things that you probably shouldn't be seeing at your age.
For sure.
Yeah. And so like my questions to you is like, was there things that like happened to your brother or family members that, that you saw that you probably shouldn't have that, affected your path, coming through your career?
Oh yeah, for sure. My cousins, I've been talking about that since my first album, Cocomania. Like that song, Fame Liquor, it's from two perspectives. So it's me seeing Fame Liquor as this great thing, and then me embellishing a story because it didn't happen at Fame Liquor, but a family member of mine that shall remain nameless did rob an establishment. Somebody did get pistol whipped. His friend pistol whipped somebody. They went in separate cars. His friend got caught with everything, and he got away. That type of thing. Like my godbrother did get caught in the chest with a sawed-off shotgun. Like stuff like that. And my godbrothers were crazy. They still crazy. You know what I mean? So it's like, but I got family members that are wild. You know what I mean? They're and it's just that. But they also, as I've also pointed out, they never let me be wild. They were always like, you're not doing this. So they never tried to influence me to follow in their footsteps of what they were doing, which was, the blessing, because they very easily could have had me out in the streets wilding too. Yeah. So no, absolutely.
You're young, very influential at the time too.
Oh yeah, you're very impressionable, and like I saw plenty of stuff that my there's a Chris Rock joke about people will rob you and then come over the next day and be like, I heard you got robbed. My family was literally, I had family members that were literally like, they took what? Oh man, knowing it was them. Yeah. So I definitely had that, but I also had good influences around me too. I had my uncle Minell was always there to kind of show me like this is what the archetype for a good family man should be. That's gonna take care of the people around him. Yeah. But so I definitely saw stuff I should not have seen, for sure. Yeah.
And then too, I think what else did I have? Yeah, let me go with this question. I'm gonna go with a very very deep question here for you. Who is Cam Archer?
Cam Archer is pretty much whoever I need him to be while I'm creating. So if I need him to be me personally, then he can be me personally. If I need him to be a malleable character that I'm creating in this world, he can be that person, because I've made this persona and I've cultivated this persona over time. So I can give whatever I need to give and be whoever I need to be when I'm Cam Archer.
Is that like would you say that's like a superhero name?
It is, but it taps into me because my name is Cam. So it makes it easier for it to be like, this is a piece of me, but it's not all of me. And it allows me to be able to keep certain things away, embellish other things, add certain things, create different mythos and legends around it, and then go from there.
And this music thing, I'm trying to think of how to phrase it, but I guess what I want to get into is like, you doing what you're doing. Where does the passion come from?
The passion to create, it's been inherent in me since I was a kid. No matter what, whether I was drawing, whether I was writing a story, whether I was making up a song on the spot on the playground, whatever it was, I've always just loved and enjoyed creating and probably just entertaining people. And that might come from just a childhood of just not feeling like I always got that quote unquote attention and realizing that when I did these things, I got it. You know what I mean? Without having to harm or change anything, but I can entertain people just with what I came up with. And I have a sister who's older than me. She was 7 years older than me. So we weren't hanging out. We weren't doing a bunch of stuff together. And I was in a wild neighborhood. I wasn't going outside to play. So I have an overactive imagination. So it all kind of played into each other and played into itself. I have, family members that were older than me, but had, things that kept them mentally around the same age as me. So I was able to see things and do things to help also cultivate that imagination. So it probably just comes from that and that enjoyment of entertaining people. And it just allows me to keep creating. So every time I think, oh, I'm not going to do this anymore, I think it's kind of like an urge. It's like an itch,
I love that. Man, dude, I think that's a great place to stop there. And I really feel like I'll leave more for the next time you come on.
Yeah, man.
Because there's a lot to dive into with your music. I mean, dude, like the craziest bars that I've ever heard, bro. And then like the techniques that you're using and doing, it's like, dude. Yeah. Check out Cam's music. You got to check it out for yourself. Check out Banner Boys. Check out even the project that he just released on his birthday. It was dope having you on, Cam.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Man, it's so sick. Any like final thoughts that you have for your fans that are watching, or upcoming projects you're working on, or anything you want to leave them with?
Yeah, if you are a fan of, album Cam that hasn't been around in a while, because I've been making all these EPs that people seem to like, he's on the way. Just, really trying to make sure whatever I make and actually dedicate that time to is something that I could really be happy with. And I think I finally have a couple of ideas. I'm still mulling over which one I'm going to dive into fully, but one probably is going to lead into the other anyway, so who cares? But yeah. New music is always on the way, because what else am I going to do? But yeah, go get Banner Boys. And if you would like a copy of No Really Don't Mention It, you can DM me on anything at Cam Archer, and I'll tell you how you can get that project. But yeah, the music is everywhere.
It's dope. Thanks again, Cam, for coming on to the show. Everybody else, we're dropping episodes every Monday. Please check us out. Make sure you're liking, sharing, subscribing. Let us know in the comments here the questions that you have for Cam, or projects that you liked of his. Just anything, like any comments that you have regarding the music, or if it's your first time listening to him, just your experience listening through. It'd be really cool to kind of hear that and check that out. So again, thanks everybody for listening. Hope you guys have a good one. Peace. I'm Archer.